everyone. Today's card's going to be another Father's Day card. I'm going to use this Fly Kite collection by October Afternoon. Now I think these papers are quite feminine, but there are a couple of papers in this paper pack that could be used for a masculine card. Namely all the polka dot ones in the sort of browns and the greens, and this one here which I'm going to be using today. So let's get to the card. I've already cut my card base down. This is 4 inches wide by, let me see, I don't know how tall. It's nearly 6 inches tall. So it's a 4 by 6 card. I've cut some other pieces down. These are both 4 inches across. This one's going to go at the bottom and this one's going to go over here at the top. This one's going to have the sentiment on it and it's just going to sit just there. And this polka dot, really small polka dot brown paper is going to have some letters cut out of it using the cutter book. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, first of all what I need to do is cut out the scalloped edge from the bottom of this card. Now for that I'm going to use my My Favourite Things scallop, I think it's a jumbo scallop die, and these I think are 1.5 inch scallops. So I'm just going to use that one, and I need to get my cutter bug out for that. Okay, for this you're going to need your A plate followed by the C plate, and on that you need to put your die. Now I like to stick these dies down so they don't move around while I'm trying to set up the rest of the card. So I'm just using some removable adhesive on the back. I'm also going to set it up the right distance from the bottom as to where I want it on the card. So then all I have to do is line this bottom of the card with the bottom of the plate, and I know everything is exactly where it should be. So I think there is pretty good. So stick that down. I'm just going to put some adhesive on the C plate itself just so I can stick the card. So I'm putting the card face down onto my C plate with the die underneath, lining it up so it's equal on the scallops here, and then just sticking it down using that temporary adhesive I've already put on the plate. Then you just need your B plate over the top and run the whole sandwich through. Okay, once you've run that through you can just rub off any adhesive that's stuck to the front of your card. So now we've got that lovely scallop on the front of the card. What I need to do now is recomplete the front of the card, because obviously that's just not going to stand properly at all. For this I'm just going to use some Tombow glue. I'm just going to run a thin line along the top of that there, and also along here and on the scallops. And then with my line of adhesive at the top, I'm just going to line this up, line the bottom of this with the bottom of the card, and then just fold that front flap down. So I'm going to put that to one side to dry. Next, what I want to do is I'm going to use this chip block letter set by Tim Holtz. I really love this die because the letters are quite small. They're only, what, 3/4 inch high, if that. So these are brilliant for cards. It's the Tim Holtz alteration dies, so I love this die. I'm going to be making them using this polka dot paper and also some thin chipboard. So what I need to do first is just to adhere this down to the chipboard. So to do that, I'm just going to get some roller adhesive and just run 2 strips down the full length. And then just stick this down to the chipboard. Just going to cut this out. So now I've got pattern paper coated chipboard ready to go through my die cutting machine. Okay, now I want to spell out Happy Father's Day. I don't want all of these letters, and in fact I want 2 of some letters like the P, I want 3 A's. So What I'm going to do is, instead of using a whole load of this chipboard covered paper covered chipboard and cutting out the entire die, I'm just going to trim out the letters that I want. To do that, I'm just going to snip off a piece of this strip that I've already covered and put that in place over the letter A. And I'm going to go ahead and cover all of the letters to about here that I know I need. Once I've covered all the letters that I know I'm using on this end of the die, I'm just going to run this part through the machine. So I've got my A plate, my B plate, followed by my final B plate. And place that down gently and hold the sandwich together with my left hand while I run it through the machine using my right hand. Okay, so I've got all my die cut letters cut out. Next what we need to do is mount them on this piece of cream cardstock. But I want to add a little bit of interest to this cardstock. So what I'm going to do is just create just a semicircle on this edge here. I'm just hand drawing it, so I'm just sketching it in. And once you've got a curve you're happy with, you can go ahead and cut it out. And just use an eraser to rub out any of those pencil marks still remaining. Okay, and then we can just stick these letters down. First of all, I'm just going to lay them out on my bit of card just so I know where they're going to be. Okay, and I'm just going to use some PVA glue to stick these down. You don't need much, otherwise the glue really does go everywhere. I know it dries clear, but even so, it dries shiny and clear, so you want to stop it kind of bulging out from the bottom of your letters as much as you can. So I'm going to go ahead and just stick all of these down. Okay, while we're waiting for that to dry, we can just go back to the base card and finish that. We need to stick this down to the front of the card. First of all, I think I'm just going to corner chomp these corners on the 1/4 inch setting using my corner chomper. And I'm just going to stick this directly down to the card. So here I'm making sure this distance here and this distance here is the same. And then just sticking that in place. Then also I'm just going to put a line of faux stitching along the front here at the bottom, just above the scallops. Okay, so now we can just go back to this Happy Father's Day sentiment topper. And what I'm going to do is use some jumbo eyelets. These are, yeah, in pewter, jumbo eyelets in pewter by Stampin' Up. I'm just going to use one of those just at the end of my sentiment. So I'm just going to decide where I want it, draw in a pencil marking. And then using my crop-a-dile on the largest setting, I'm just going to pierce a hole where I made that mark. Then just push my eyelet through that hole. Okay, so using the A and the 1 setting, I'm going to put this pokey side, the A setting, into the front of the eyelet, and then I'm going to clamp the other side down on the back of the eyelet. You don't have to squeeze too hard, you'll feel it give, and then you'll see that it's curled over. I don't know if you can see, it's curled over so there's no sharp edges anymore. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm lining this up with the left hand edge of the card, and I'm also making it so that this bit of the green polka dot is showing through at the top, the same amount as this bit here. So I think that's about right. And then all we've got left to do is round the corners. So I'm just going to round these bottom 2 corners. And that's the card finished. So I hope you enjoyed today's card. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!